85 f1.8. What a crazy piece of glass this is, man. Throughout my photographic journey, from shooting B-roll to shooting flatlets to straights to literally kind of videos, this guy had always been my go-to buddy for everything. And no, I'm not going to review this either. And all the small talks are just to let you soak in all the positivities that is going around you, and the fact that a year like 2020 is finally coming to an end. It's winter out there and Christmas is around the corner, so just grab some coffee and smile maybe. And today I'm going to talk about what layer mask is and make you regret why you haven't planted a couple of years back. So let the intro roll and roll it first, man. I'm excited to share what it is all about. So what is up everyone, Parshut Shutter here, hope you all are doing good, and today we're going to talk about what layer masks are in Photoshop. And that being said, first we will dive into the theory of layers, and then we will go to the theory of layer masks, and then we will move on to the practicality of this. And hang on, don't avoid this or hate me for the theoretical part. You are going to love it when you will inculcate in your own complex workflows, and you might just feel like sharing your pizza with me. Even if Joey doesn't share his food, you might love sharing your pizza with me maybe after knowing this. So hang on with the theories, and that's going to throw lights on how masks work in both photos and in videos as well. So just hang on. So let's start with the theory of layer first. So just to break it like this, layer is your companion when you want to make your workflow indestructible. So by that, what I mean to say is you have a canvas, you have a portrait on it of your friends with a beautiful green background and sky behind that, and so you decide to retouch the skin first, remove all the blemishes, soften the skin, then you went back to edit the greens, you have turned them to somewhat moody, and then you have turned your sky to somewhat teal or turquoise or whatever, but then you just feel like the skin of the subject is really not on point, so you can really not go back. And if you just want to go back by pressing Command or Control Z and undoing all your edits to go back to the skin, you will lose all the edits you have done in the trees or in the sky in the background, and that's where the layer comes to play. So what Photoshop lets you is, it lets you create layers. So in the first background layer, you have the main photo, you duplicate it, you edit the skin, then you duplicate it again, you have edited the sky, and then again you have duplicated it and you have edited the grains. And now just if you feel like that the skin is not on point, you can always go and check the layer where you have edited the skin, and you can always play around with the attributes of that and make things better. So that's what layer is all about. So now you have this scenario that you have edited the sky to somewhat turquoise, and you have edited the greens, you have edited your subject, but then you feel the need of somewhat controlling the opacity of certain portion of the photo. For example, you want your sky to be less dark and less moody to what you have edited and more airy as it looked naturally. So you want to control the opacity. You definitely have that opacity slider beside your layer, but that is going to control the opacity of the whole layer, and that means it will be affecting the grains, it will be affecting the oranges or reds or yellows in the skin of your subject, and or her beautiful white dress or probably a red gown or whatever he or she is wearing, and you know that's a mess, and that's where layer must come to place. Now let's jump into Photoshop and let me explain how layer mask works and the theory behind it, and also the practicality alongside. So let's jump into it. So to start off, I have this photo of mine in front of the mighty Himalaya. So we will start off by going to filter and camera raw filter and just applying a preset to see what are the advantages of working in layers. We'll apply this preset like as the name suggests, dusky colors. It makes the whole photo so much oranges, and you hit OK, you feel like that the skin there is perfect, but it takes away all the coldness of the mountain away, and it doesn't feel like mountainside photo even. So yeah, kind of you want some changes, but you can't go back and really do that, and that's where layers come to place. You just press Command Z to undo this and select your layer. Just in case this layer panel is not visible, you can always go to Window and check that your layers are checked off, and if that's being done, just come here, select the layer and press Command or Control J to duplicate this layer. And now you can go to Filter and then Camera Raw Filter, and then you can apply this preset right here that we applied a while back, and hit OK. So on the upper layer we have the edited photo where we have the oranges in face that looks great, but the jacket and the jeans are pretty much wiped off. The mountains in the background looks so much off, and we just want to get rid of that. To get rid of that, all we need to do is we want to control the opacity of the top layer so that the mountains from the layer underneath is visible, and here's a little opacity slider. We can play around with that to get it back, and as we take the opacity down, it's true that the blues in the sky are getting back, but at the same time the edits in the skin is going off to the layer underneath as well. So that's not the solution, my friend, and that's where layer mask comes to place. This little button right here is what adds a layer mask to the layer, and it is white by default, and what white indicates is it's totally opaque and with 0% transparency, and if we can turn it to black, it will be 100% transparent. So if we need to just get blues back in these portions of the photo and this, all we need to do is take a brush, paint it black in our desired locations. We can always select our brush tool, and with the foreground color being selected as black, we can just paint it over. In our case it's white, so we will press X to toggle between black and white to get this, and just in case it's not black and white in your case, you can always press D to make it default, and then press X to toggle between the colors. And with black being selected and the layer mask being selected, we will paint off the portion that we want our colors back. So I will speed up the process to save time. And while you work with the brush, there's two more important factors that you have to keep in mind. One is opacity and one is flow. What opacity indicates is the strength of the brush that is being applied to the canvas, and the flow of the brush is pretty much self-explanatory from its name. It's the flow of the brush with each stroke of the brush applied on the canvas. So that's basically it, and just to make things easier, I am just speeding up the process. Also, you can control the size of the brush by pressing bracket open and close, and there might be cases when your brush might go over some unintended portions, and to solve that, with your foreground color being selected as white, you can do that by toggling through pressing X and just click on the portions that you want. So in the second example, we have this photo of the Madhuri Lake in Arunachal Pradesh. The background is pretty much blown off with so much of fog and clouds roaming around here and there. So we just want to make a composite with mountain being pasted over that, and to do that I have a photo of snow-clad mountains right here. I have just scaled it up as per our composition, and we will add a layer mask to it, and I will just make the whole canvas black so that it's 100% transparent and we can see the lake underneath, so that it helps in our editing process. So with the layer mask being selected, press Command I to invert the mask and make it black. And now with the brush being selected and the foreground color being white, I will just pull up the opacity to make these things textured, and yes, you might be thinking that the lake in the foreground is totally orange, is totally warm, and the mountains in the back is totally cold. It's blue all over, and that's not matching, and that's where the color matching and color grading things come to place. I won't be talking about that in this tutorial. I have tutorial on that on my channel itself. You can check it out. I will be linking it in my description. And after those steps, here's the final result of what we have achieved. So this is the before and this is the after. So that's the power of layer mask. It lets you avoid the hassles of selecting individual objects from your composites, and at the same time, if you want to apply presets to a certain part of the photo, it's totally applicable. And if you want to apply a preset to a certain part of photo, you can easily do it through layer mask. And there's so much of opportunity. I would urge you to go and give it a try, and magical things are going to happen. So that's it. So all that being said and all that being demonstrated, I'm pretty much sure that you will definitely regret not knowing this a year back, or probably when you have started learning the editing portion of your photos and all. Editing a photo is not always about the color grading and correcting them. It's about all these things that makes your workflow much more easier as well. So if this was helpful, don't forget to like this video, and also if you are watching my video for the second or third time, probably it's a sign from the universe that you should subscribe to my channel as well. But all that being said, I just made coffee and here it is. So cheers to life, and cheers to winter and every positive things around. So stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video, probably before the year ends. And till then, bye bye, take care, and take more sips of your coffee.